welcome to my video Lovecraft with Cass, and today I am going to be showing you shells. Da, 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 da. Aren't they beautiful? Oh, that one's upside down. So I actually have some like reusable acrylic templates from the amazing Gina B Silkworks, and as short as I can make waffle about how I ended up finding out this stuff was in a gift that K3N Cloth Tales Catherine gave me when I was in the UK recently. Amongst the things was a Yorkshire button. I should have got it out. It's a bit too hard to get out. Anyway, it's this cute little purple Yorkshire button, and I was fascinated because it was just this cute little thing, and I looked it up, and a bunch of Gina B Silkworks, like, she's got a whole YouTube channel and a website, and I 100% recommend. I'm not affiliated or sponsored or anything, just she's awesome, and what she sells is awesome and great quality, and the customer service is beautiful, and they're based in England. I'm in Australia, if you couldn't tell by my accent, and you know, it still came really quickly, and yeah, it's really exciting. But I found her YouTube channel because she does like so much stuff, so much. So I did buy the Yorkshire button packs as well. So I bought a Yorkshire button kit and the large loom pack. So but my favorite thing, I haven't actually used the Yorkshire buttons ones yet, because that's the Yorkshire button kit. So you get they kind of look a bit like cogs, the looms to make the buttons, and this is to make really big ones. And with the normal pack, normal size pack, you get threads, which is really cool. And this is, for me, is the pièce de résistance. It is so awesome. It's Seashell Looms kit, and you can make everything on the cover. And there's a bit of a look at, sorry, the glare. I'll just try and get the glare away. There we go. How amazing is that? And you can make all these seashells and conch shells and a little crab. Look at the crab. Look, the crab is my favourite thing, and the little starfish. And if you go over to, pardon me, Gina B Silkworks YouTube channel, she actually does tutorials on how to make these things. And in here, I won't show you in here just because of copyright. I don't want people to be ripping off at anything, but not that I'm saying you would, but you know, internet stuff. She actually, in the book, is the pattern for all these shells. So they're all numbered, and then instructions on which one it is, and you can make this entire display. So, and they just, you know, it's fabulous. I just can't just rave enough about it. It's fabulous. So this was the first one I ever did. Excuse my fingers. I've still got black gesso in there. It doesn't matter how much I wash it, it's not coming out. So that was the first one I made, and that was with some crochet thread. You do get so with the seashell loom packs, I'm all over the place because I'm just really excited. So you get them in this cute little baggie, which Gina B on her YouTube channel, I think, or was it the website? I can't remember. But she decorates hers with the shells, and like, it looks glorious. So that'd be really cool. So I've just been practicing. I've only had these like a week or two maybe. I can't remember, but yeah, so you get some threads to make some shells. You get the crochet hook to do the end part, and then you get all the looms. You get lots of looms for all the shells and everything you see on this page. And it's just so, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. If you know how to make a Yorkshire button, you'll know how to do this, because it's like a weird shaped Yorkshire button premise, I think. I haven't made a Yorkshire button yet, but it's kind of what it looked like. So yes, that was my first one with crochet thread. And then this was my second one because I wanted to see how it would handle, where's the yarn? This actually is my own hand spun yarn. It's not really thick, but obviously thicker than crochet thread. And that worked all right. Gave this really like cool and boofy shell. And then I used fingering weight yarn. Yeah, from Sweet Georgia. It's sock yarn. So, and I used that for that one because I'm just playing. I'm just practicing. I'm not making shells for a specific motif or picture or anything. I just like them. And I thought I'd do one with you. I'm not claiming this as a proper tutorial because Gina B does like the tutorials in a glorious, proper, explainy way. And I'm just going to make a shell and bring you along with me. I'm just getting a little bit of tape because it's better to tape the back thread onto the shell so you're not trying to which one should I do? I want to at some point, well, I don't know when. See, they're just I haven't done this shape. I wonder if I could do that. I might do that one. So I'm just playing and experimenting. So if it doesn't look very good, that's on me, not the products. And the really cool thing is, you know, the different ways you see, I've just taped that. Like, so sorry about the glare on the acrylic. What was I saying? I don't even remember. Oh, the different ways you thread it up will give you different textures on the shells and different looks for the shells. So, you know, if I'm not sure I'm remembering it properly from how Gina does it on her tutorial, I could be threading it back to front, but it like actually doesn't matter. The two big points for this is to make sure you don't bring it round the back. Because you won't be able to get it off at all. So, oops, I just pulled that off. So what I'm doing is I started in the middle peg and I've gone from top peg and wrap it round the bottom of the middle peg to bring it back to the front. So when you've finished, you just pop them all off the little peggy bits. So don't do it too tight. You need to do it snug so it doesn't fall off, but not so tight that you won't be able to remove it from the thing. So those are the two main points: is don't wrap on the back and don't make it too tight. So this is, yeah, again, I don't know if it's accurate to what Gina B does, but what I love about it is it doesn't actually matter because you can still make a shell, and that is awesome. Okay, I again don't have my, I've missed a peg. Whoops. And then you see that bottom peg's getting, I think she goes between all three pegs. Oh, maybe. maybe baby, maybe, I'm not sure. So yeah, I've threaded that up. So I've gone from the top middle tab down to the bottom middle tab, and then I've just gone to each side till I've gone to outsides. And then what you need to do is stitch in the bottom bits so they don't come apart. So what I'm doing here is just I can't remember exactly what Gina called it, but just tying off the bottom of the shell, so then you can do the weavy bits that makes those gorgeous little ribby things. So just doing that end bit, so it's, yeah, oh, that seems to have worked. There you go. Troubleshooting, yay, it worked. And as you can see, my thread's about to run out, so I have to thread my needle again. But that is okay. I am okay with that. I'll just pull through one more time to make it extra secure. Okay, I'm going to pause again while I thread the needle because I think it might take a little while. Okay, I'll be back in a sec. Hello, back again. Okay, so I've threaded my needle and we've got the loom warped up and the end stitched up. And so I'm just going to go through the middle. I don't know if that's how Gina does that, but it's what I love about this. It's quite forgiving. You can kind of just muddle your way through and voila, it's still some kind of shell. It's really, yes, I recommend these absolutely thoroughly. And if any of you watch Annie Claxton, like Arty Fuddy Annie, if you watched her live Whip and Waffle on Wednesday, you would have seen me doing this shell, making this shell there, and I didn't pick a very good colour to for visual discernment, if that's the right way to say it. So I thought I'd do this video where it was a bit more clearer, and that's really cleary. And yeah, so I've got this. I'm not sure I made the right choice with this thread either. I'm just holding on to the end, and I'm just, because I'm starting a new thread, I'm just putting it through a couple of times to anchor it. See, and it's pretty anchored. I'm going to cut all these bits off because I have a feeling they will get in the way. I'll put them in my little orts hangy thing. Okay, so this is where it's really cool to make the ribs. And what's really cool is I'm going to call the strands going from the top to bottom spokes. So on each spoke you can wrap it around and make a very detailed, lots of spoke shell. Or I gathered 2 spokes together on this one, and it's less spokes, less ribs on the shell. So, and you can make patterns with it. You can, gather 2 up, 1, or I don't know, you're not really limited to you have to do all of them or just 2 of them. Just play around with it and see what you like. And make sure you don't split your thread either. So I'm just going to go around that one again. So you're threading your thread around the spokes, and I've picked one that's too thin and you can't actually see the work. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause and I'm going to get up to the middle bit. That might be a bit easy to see. So hang on a sec, I'll be back when I have got into the middle. Hello, I'm back. So I got a little way with this, so you can see, but it just kept breaking. I think it's just too brittle. It was a op shop fine thread, so it was just a bit old because I wasn't even pulling on it that hard, and it just kept breaking. So I've decided to use the biggest loom, because I actually was thinking about just finishing, like showing you a bit more and then finishing it off, because I thought maybe it was too small. I thought I'd go, because I know this works because I've done this. So again, this is my hand spun wool, so it's just merino. So basically I reckon you could use any thread as long as it fits on the loom, obviously, and with the thicker thread you'll make them quicker. If you love kind of that meditative, methodical, repetitive stitching type thing, oh, you'll love doing this, because you're wrapping thread around each of these spokes to make the ribs, and it's just, I love it so much, because I made this one. It's easy as, you know, it's methodical, and the thinner thread you use, obviously the longer that particular shell is going to take, because it'll take a while to get through all the go around and build up all the stitches. So we've just re-threaded a loom, and I just want to make sure I am stitching all the spokes in, gathering them all up. Now, what I was saying before when I stopped is make sure you don't split your yarn with your needle, because you're essentially weaving your thread around the spokes. You do want to be able to kind of push them down and align them. So if you have split your thread with your needle, you won't be able to push them down. Make sure they're all even. So you might have to. I've done that a couple of times, and all I did was unthread my needle and just pull it back out, and you know, it worked a treat. So it's easy enough to undo if you have done it. Okay, all right, so just there. So I'm just going to start this off. So I'm just going to pause, and then I'll start this off like I did with the other one. I'll come back and show you when it's a bit more visible. So these stitches across here, as I just went over around the bottom tabs a few times just to secure them all together, and then I did the stitching where I went around each spoke separately, and what I call a spoke is just that one line coming down. And so I did that just to line them all up, because there was a bit of crisscrossing with using all three tabs to fit the wool on. And but now I am wrapping two of the spokes together rather than doing it individually. So like I said before, this one was each spoke wrapped around, so you get lots of really fine ribs. And then this one was two spokes wrapped around. Now I thought I'd just jump back in to show you, and again, this is not a proper tutorial. This is me just kind of showing off my new toys and showing you just how amazingly comprehensive and easy this is. And Gina B Silkworks, like really good quality stuff. Also the tutorials are phenomenal. They're really self-explanatory, and you can go to them if you have any questions or, you know, anything like that. They're just fabulous. So I'm just showing you because it's fun. But I thought I'd come back and just show you how easy it is to finish off a thread and start a new one. So as you can see, I'm just about out of thread, and so I'm just going to go under this one. And that's why I swapped my needle before. Pardon me, when I realized it was a really big needle, because you want to be able to go down the ribs like that, and that's how you finish off a thread and start a new thread. So you can see that, and then you just trim them off. Well, I can do that now. So you just trim them off, and because you're going down through a heap of stitches, it'll just stay. Unless I'm not sure, like these aren't going to be going through the wash or anything for me, so I don't know if you'd want to go around a few times. Like if you're putting it on a garment or blanket or something, it just might be wise to do it a couple more times than that. I came down this one to finish my thread off because I didn't have enough to keep going, and so now we just want to come up through the ribbing of the spoke that we've already stitched, and I'm just going to leave that there, and then I'm going to go around this one. Okay, so then we go back to normal stitching, and that's how easy it is to start and stop with thread. It really is no palaver at all. So if you have a thread that's quite catchy and tangly, you can do smaller lengths just to save yourself some grief, because it is really easy to just stop and start with the thread, and it's just, yeah, these are just fantastic. I love them so much. Did you know that I love them? I love them. Thank you, Gina B Silkworks, for making these shell looms. I don't know why, they just genuinely make me happy doing this. I just want to make all the shells. So what I do want to do is and I might do it with this since I've already started, and this seems to be working out. I don't know how it'll go in the really small looms though, but is like have a selection of threads and do each loom with each thread, and just kind of like knitting a swatch, kind of that thing, or doing samples, or doing your colour swatches when you get new paints. I kind of want to do that with the threads that I generally tend to use. I do have some hand spun. It is much finer than this, so I'll try and find that, because it'd be so great to use up some of my hand spun wool, because, you know, prepping fibre and then spinning and then using all 3 different hobbies. So I have this huge tub of hand spun fibre of all different kinds of fibres that is just sitting there waiting to be used, and I do want to use them, and I have been not buying yarn. As you can see, I'm like championing along, and I am doing 2 spokes at once just to make the thicker ribbing, just to match this one, because on Annie's Whipple Moffle Wednesday, I think she said it that, or just when we were chatting, she wants a little clam thing. So I thought I'd do that to make a little clam, and show Annie. and you know, Annie and Tom, well, Tom won't watch, but Annie, if you're watching, thank you for letting me be on your live. It was so much fun. I love hanging out with you guys so much. So you can see I'm right at the end here. And the great thing about this is when you fill up these spokes on the end, there's no fiddle faddle about like, you know, tying them off or anything like that. You just stop wrapping around them. So these two are as full as they're going to get. And so then when I get to the one beside it, I just go around, I just stop wrapping around that one, and you do the end stitch, which is just going around the spoke, and then you turn around and go back the other way. So yeah, you can just see it's just quite easy to sort of decrease those stitches. You just stop going around the spokes. And I need to go around that one because that one's full. And I mean, you could even stop sooner if you wanted to change the shape of the shell. And that's kind of the beauty of the design of these looms, is you can just do a standard thing of it, or you can really change it up with how many stitches you do, how many spokes you have, how long you go to each spoke. You know, it's just, you can create a unique shell every single time if you wanted to. You know, it's really, really cool. So just pulling that through, and I just thought I'd bring you back bring you back to show you the end, because it's taking out was really simple. I know I'm raving about how cool these are, but they are really cool. And they're just such a good design, because it's not convoluted trying to finish it off, you know, kind of thing. You don't have to put in special stitches in some place or do anything, you know, I mean, you have to do something particular to finish it. But it's, so I've gone as far as I wanted to go on those, if you can see. What's that weird bit there? Oh, it's just a fluffy end. I thought that looked a bit strange. So you can see, and that's the back. I taped the end when I was starting. And so all the threads on the back and the threads at the bottom. And then, yeah, I've just wrapped around each of those spokes until I potentially could like shove down and make that really compacted. I mean, it's pretty compact. I'm not sure I could actually get, no, I can't actually compact that anymore. But that is something I do each time. After each row, I kind of just push it down. And so just like if we need to, you know, get a new thread in or out, we just go through a spoke. Like that. I love how just clean that is. And I'm going to put it through all the way to the bottom, because we will want to finish up. Now, I'm not sure if this is how Gina B does it, because I did watch the videos last week, and then I kind of just carried on, and I don't think I've remembered it quite the way she's done it, but I think this is wrong per se, just probably different. And so I'm going to undo my little tape there, and I put that on my tripod stand to use for the next time. And so the other good tip is start in the middle, and then like you did with winding them, like from the middle, one each side, that's how you take them off. And it is just flicking them off with your nail, and once you get a few off, they come off really easy. See, da da da, that easy. Look at that, da da da. And so that's the loopy doop tabby things. So this is what they gave you a crochet hook for, which I put somewhere really safe. Oh, here it is. If you know crochet, you'll be completely cool with this, is a chain stitch. So you go through one chain, and then you bring the other chain through it, and you just change stitch all those loopy tabs. Oh yeah, you can see it. And that gives you the end of the shell in a neatened way. You could finish it off by sewing in and out if you didn't want to do the crocheting, just as long as the edge is finished off. I suspect you could leave the loops as well if it wasn't going to get handled much. It would kind of, the ribs would move up and down, so yeah, it would be a matter of just making sure that was secure. Okay, so I have finished the edge with that chain stitch across, and I've got my thread here. I'm actually just going to go through all the loops of the tabs just to secure it while I'm down there, and then I'm going to go up the side rib to get to where my crochet hook is, just so I can anchor that last loop. And then I'm going to go back down and finish that end bit off. So just so I don't lose it, I'm putting it in while my hook was in, and then just anchor that down. Just go through it again to make sure it's really secure. Ta-da-da! There you go. And so then go back down. I'm going back down on the other side of the rib. So when I came up to anchor that stitch, I came up at the back. Well, this time I'm going to go up at the front. Just because, I don't know, I feel like I should do it that way. I don't know if there's a good reason for it. There we go. And let's just see how neat that finishing off is. It's beautiful. And there's the... So you could use that side as shell as well. That like reminds me of the Pippi shells. The really smooth ones that still have all the striations of colour and stuff. And then you've got the ones with the ribs that are kind of like the clam shells. So you could do either way. And so you have options here. You can leave that as is, or you can tuck it under like that. So did I use a bigger? I must have used a bigger loom for this one. This is smaller. Only by a bit. It must have been the size down. But yeah, you can fold that over and then just stitch that down. just to like, so you know, it depends what end you want the shell to have. So it can be pointy or rounded, or you could even like leave it out and then wrap around it to make it even tubular-y kind of thing. You know, it's up to you. Your shell, you do it, finish it how you finish it. Now what's happened with my, oh, I was holding it, okay. I was like, what is going on? And I was just holding it, silly duffer. So yeah, I am just securing down like all those loops that were on the bottom tabs. I'm just securing them under the shell. Take that and that way. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. I might just bring that. Yeah, it's a bit better. Let's bring that down a bit more. Okay. That's a bit better, a bit more even. And there you go, it's another little shell. Ta-da! Ta-da! How cool is that? Alright. Okay, I can snip these off. Do. And we have another little shell. I must have done this one on a smaller loom. I thought I did it on the biggest loom, but I didn't, because this is much smaller and thicker, and this is more spread out. So that's cool. I am going to go heat up my glue gun, and I'm going to turn into this into a cute little clam guy or gal. Oh, sorry, I wasn't even on camera, you couldn't even see it, sorry. So yes, I will pause again and show you. I won't go through how I've made it, because I'm just gonna, you know, glue it together with hot glue gun, because there's something I want to do to make it into a cute little critter. So you'll see why I'm using a glue gun instead of stitching it, but you'll see when I come back. Okay, I'll pause you again, but I'll be back in a second. Hello, I'm back, and as you can see, I made a little thing. So he's got little stalk eyes. This was Annie Claxton's, what she wanted to see. I can see some glue string there. There we go. So yeah, so that's why I used the hot glue gun, because it was just quicker. You could of course stitch it all together, but I got some, I'll show you the wire. It's not very malleable. It's really stiff, like garden wire or something. So I can't really bend the little eye stalks as much as I thought I would be able to. But yeah, that's a little creature. And what I did is, that's just one piece of wire and in a U shape, and I wrapped it with the same wool. And then when I was gluing these two bits together, I just sandwiched the end of the U in there, and then I put a blob of hot glue like in there, and then just actually shoved all the ends I'd been snipping off from when I had to change my thread and start new thread. So this little clam monster is very cute. Look at the googly eyes, googly eyes. So yes, so that is one of the many things you will be able to do with the seashell loom set from Gina B Silkworks, and Again, I'm not affiliated or sponsored. I just think they have absolutely amazing products. I didn't even touch on, well, no, I did show you I had the Yorkshire button loom sets, but I didn't even go into making those. That may have to be another video because this one's long enough. So from me and little clam guy, bye bye, bye bye. Have a good day, week or weekend or whatever you are doing. Woo, bye.